And this is it. Straight from the land of the rising sun, we have the cordless drill that started it all. The Makita 6010D. 1978 was the release date, and this is the very first cordless drill, or at least the very first cordless drill with a removable battery ever to grace God's green earth. This is back when tools were tools and men were men. The 6010D. So this is a 7.2 volt NiCad, ancient battery chemistry. We're gonna start out by evaluating the battery. So we're gonna connect it to my battery analyzer, and we're gonna see how it's survived over the years. So come on now, come on. Oh my Lord, sweet baby J. 58 cold cranking amps. That's almost unbelievable. That's literally twice as much. 7.52 volts, so it's fully charged. Just for juxtaposition, let me get this. So this is a modern 18 volt, not the highest quality cell by no stretch of the imagination, but it will give us a little perspective on battery quality. And I can promise you, this one ain't no 58 cold cranking amps. Yes, 29, so half of what this ancient battery has. That's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It's a real testimony to the quality of things that came from the days of yore. What a trip down memory lane this is for me. I was browsing the flea bay and I came across this, and it was like, and I remember the day that my stepdad pulled this bad boy out of his truck many moons ago. I was probably 12 years old, and I saw it and it took my breath away. And I remember him just going to town with it, and I fell in love. I think that was one of the days that I really fell in love with tools, and I saw what the future held. So I'm excited to get into this, to pull back the sheets and see what's in the bed. You know, this is old-fashioned JA pan build quality. This is as good as it gets. So we're going to conduct a couple of tests. We're going to start with seeing how she chooches, doing the thing that it was designed to do. Let me get my little wood block. And, whoop, excuse me, I mean to bump you there. Let's put the drill bit in and see how she do. Oh, ouch. Is it going to be stuck it? I don't know if I've got a chuck key. Oh, let me see if I can't come up with a way to fix this. I am really interested in kind of refining my review format. So the methodology that I use, something that I can consistently repeat for every review. There's comments out there floating around saying that I should get some tips from Project Farm, which I love that channel, but the truth is I'm too dang lazy for all that. I'm definitely not going to put that much effort into making these videos. I'm just an idiot who likes to take tools apart. But what I am interested in trying to do is comparing the box spec propaganda versus real world. So, you know, can I conceive of tests that test what the marketing wanks say versus the real world action of the tool? So this one, they say that it's 600 RPMs. We can definitely test that. Yep. This is the problem with these old Jacob Chucks. They you had to eat them down pretty good. They'll slip loose. It's almost, you can't get enough stank behind it to tighten it down. It's got some something. I mean, it's got the power, you know, surprisingly enough. Let's see if it can, see what we can do with screws. Can't get these things out. Alright. Let's put a torque. This is probably the first time this drill has ever had a torque bit in it. Ouch. See what kind of, it ain't got a slow, you know, and this is before they probably used pulse width modulation to control the speed. They just used a potentiometer, and the voltage dictated how fast and how hard the drill turned. The problem with that technology is when you don't use pulse width modulation, you don't have any power down low. It's just, you know, it relies on, oh, shucks, my chucks. I'm glad these kind of chucks aren't around anymore. It's just not very user friendly at all. So let's see what I can do with this. It did it. Let's see if this will work. So the way that these laser photo tachometers work is they see a reflective surface. So 532, and it said 600. You know, I'll give it 70. You know, when you get to be 50, what, 52, no, 43, 45 years old, you're probably going to lose a few RPMs over the years. Ooh, that is so freaking cool. Look at that. So what is this made out of? It feels like it definitely does not feel like fiberglass reinforced nylon. It's much more clicky, kind of rigid. You know, and this is evidently prior to them putting the material markings. So they usually engrave or stamp the type of material. It's fiberglass. We can probably hear it. Yeah, it is. Hear it? Hear that crackle? That's the fiberglass. So it is fiberglass reinforced nylon, more than likely. And it's just as rigid as the dickens, like compared to these cheap old, the new, well, it doesn't have all this complicated geometry. Like the technology, the evolution of the technology has allowed for much more complicated components. But it's still state of the art for the time, absolutely. And you can see it's not a potentiometer. I think it's just a go or no go. It's just a static switch. So it's either on. What happened? Oh, slung my gear out. So it's either on or off. There ain't no speed control. And this is just a basic analog switch. So there's contacts inside of it. And when you pull it, the contacts are either open or closed, and it sends the angry electrons through these solid leads, these solid copper leads. So this looks like it's probably not aluminum, maybe nickel plated, electroplated, but this is definitely copper. So this is expensive, and these are solid flat. So these are flat wire. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a Mabuchi legacy Mabuchi motor. Wow. And it's got this nice little flux ring around it. It's a little baby. Let's see, it's looks like a 3-pole. Probably maybe a 16 turn. You can kind of see the copper around the armature inside of it. This brings back so many memories. What is this? Oh, I think it's a breaker. So if the overload protection, and it trips this breaker. Isn't that cool? I guess I'm sure that's what it is. Man, that's just cool as heck. So, and then it's got this little toggle that reverses the flow of electrons. Straight up analog. There's nothing, no digital, nothing in it. So look at this. And then these little bushings. It's got this big bull gear, and then the pinion gear on this is a different material. Is it not? And this is prior to the sintered metal. So this is not the powdered metal gears that we see today. Each one of these just took a tremendous amount of time. Each one of these are manually ground, milled, you know, probably hard as a coffin nail. But just an extraordinary amount of time and effort that it goes into making each one of these gears, these bull gears. And then, you know, it's got a, so it's going through 1, 2. So it's 2 different reductions. Let's see if we can figure out what kind of gear reduction we're talking about here. Probably ain't gonna work. Probably gonna come off as it spins, but we'll see. So let's see. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So about 28 to 1 gear reduction. That is a monster reduction. So this thing probably spins, how fast you reckon? We're not going to be able to tell with the photo tachometer with it. Definitely not going to be able to tell, but you know, another interesting thing is you see these, it has these oil-like bushings. So these are oil impregnated bronze bushings that they opted to use instead of, and then it's got this big beefy bearing. I mean, it's a monster bearing on the end right there. Very expensive. And it's got this retainer ring. This is just, I mean, this is like, look at this grease. You can tell this drill was hardly ever used. Probably set in somebody's garage. The grease on the end of the gear has just barely even been spun. And you can see how they've got it gooped down in there. And then there's one last test that I would like to conduct, and that is to connect the power analyzer to this thing and see what she's talking about under load. I really need 4 hands to do this. I ain't gonna be able to shoes. Hold on. Okay, let me see if I can cobble together thing. Probably a better way, a smarter way, a faster way, but right now it ain't coming to me. Wire loom tape, which ain't got no sticktivity to it. You like watching people suffer? Idiots struggling to do things. Okay, now. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're getting somewhere now. All right, so let me zoom in so we can see. Can we see? Whoop. Okay, I might not be the smartest tool in the shed, but damned if I ain't persistent. Now we got an angle going on, angle in the dangle. That's probably going to lead to more problems. Okay, so I ended up having to regroup. Let's try one more again. Well, it didn't like that, did it? I just Can you even see it? I think it's below the nominal operating voltage of the analyzer. Well, I think we got some readings. I'll go back and check it out. But that's it. I'm worn out, burnt out. Till next time, everybody. But before I go, I want to put my eyes on this battery. From first glance, it does not appear to be user serviceable. But just for my own edification, I want to see if I can crack it open and get to the goods inside. Where to start? Probably depress these indents. Let's see if that's going to yield any results. All right, let me think about it and I'll come back. Okay. I think I'm onto something here. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this to separate it, and then let's see if we can't. Nope. Let's try this one instead. So try to separate it. See that? And then if I have to break it, I'll break it. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. I don't really want to break it though. There we go. Man, I cut my finger. I can't push hard on it. There we go. Yes. Success. So these are nickel cadmium batteries. This is all there used to be. And I remember when I used to race remote control cars, there was like a million different formulas or different chemistries, but they were all this basic, you know, C battery, a little bit bigger than C battery, can size, rechargeable. And it just, you know, the difference in these and the lithium ion batteries is these are not nearly as angry. You can beat them up and throw them around and you know, treat them rough. It looks like it only has one protection, and that's probably for thermal overload. I imagine there's probably a solid fuse that if it melts in two, it just cuts power to the terminal. Let's see. Let's inspect the gate. See how this thing is. Oh, yeah, there it is. See? It's a solid state fuse. And when that burns in two, the battery's permanently gonzo. Never to be used again. But that's it. There's no, like, just a mad number of electronics inside. To protect it. So we'll put this back in its little home, and hopefully he'll live on to screw another day. Uh-oh. Which is which? But we can test that. So we get our little probes out and just see which is which. Okay, so this is the hot side. Perfect. Maybe I should. I bet that's gonna keep it from slipping down in there, isn't it? Well. It'll be all right. I forgot which side was which. And then, there we go. Good as new. Nothing but some witness marks